And what happens if they do become hostile?
Okay, big cliche, come on, big cliche, come on!
And God help us.
Yeah! So we cut to Randy Quaid, who's a drunk redneck pilot who actually claims to have been abducted by aliens before.
Russ, when they took you up in their spaceship, did they do any sexual things to you at all? You recollect?
I don't need this. If I wanted to be laughed at, I'd go back to Hollywood. So the aliens arrive and place themselves conveniently over America's most famous monuments. But that doesn't stop our other main character, Will Smith, getting jiggy with it on his girlfriend, Vivica A. Fox.
What you been doing out there?
Shooting aliens.
Oh, you shooting aliens, right? Oh, you think you tough, huh?
Must resist Men in Black joke. Must resist Men in Black joke. And I have to admit, this is the only character who doesn't suck. Not because of the writing or anything, but because it's fucking Will Smith. The king of cool. He can make anything sound awesome. He's like the most charming man alive. I don't even know what it is. There's just something about him. But seriously, he can make anything sound good. Look at this very basic scene and listen to how he makes it so cool.
Come on now, you can't go. You got to call them back.
I'm not gonna do this with you, Jasmine.
But you said you was on leave for the 4th.
Why are you acting like this?
Why? That's why.
What's wrong with her? She's crazy. He's gorgeous.
I really don't think they flew 90 billion light years to come down here and start a fight.
Look at this bit. The line is, you're not as charming as you think you are, and Will Smith just says, yes I am. What a terrible line. Who the hell would write that? But when you listen to him say it.
But you are not as charming as you think you are, sir.
Yes, I am.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
But more important things are going on, like how our government, with all their scientific technology, discovers that the alien ships are using our own satellites against us, sending out a signal that will eventually run out and probably mean an attack. Oh wait, no, sorry, this was figured out by one cable repairman whose job is to make sure that your HBO is coming in clear. FBI, TV maintenance, they're both pretty similar.
It's like in chess. First you strategically position your pieces, then when the timing's right, you strike. They're positioning themselves all over the world, approximately 6 hours. The signal's gonna disappear and the countdown's gonna be over. And then what? Checkmate.
Good lord, Jeff Goldblum can make just about anything overdramatic, can't he? Even in a scene that is overdramatic, he makes it even more overdramatic. How is it Jeff Goldblum can turn anything into a melodrama? Yes, I would like to return this taco to you because there was no sauce on it, and as we all know, when there is no sauce on the taco, you will realize that it is not spicy, and if it is not spicy, well then you all know what that means. Checkmate.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I gotta call my brother. I better call my housekeeper. I gotta call my lawyer. Forget my lawyer. I gotta call Disney and let them know I won't be able to do Mulan 5.
So Jeff Goldblum and his father head to the White House to try and warn them.
Yeah, so tell me something. Are you so smart? How come you spend 8 years in MIT to become a cable repairman? Yeah, all I'm saying is they got people who handle these things, Dave. Look at these people. Look, closest. They take and then they go.
They're going faster than we are. Look at this.
Well,
We're in the fast lane.
I can't go faster. They're cutting me off here.
No one's cutting you off. Yeah, we're gonna get a ticket.
Getting in front of me. I can't go any faster.
I can outshoot you. 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 No, I can outshoot you. So Randy Quaid tries his best to get his family away from the aliens. We got his son, who's ashamed of his father, his daughter, who's a complete slut, and the third one, who's the third one. But enough of that. We see Will Smith and his friend Harry Connick Jr. as it seems Will has been turned down again to join NASA.
Man, you know I really like Jasmine. You know that, right?
First blood.
Man, you never gonna get to fly the space shuttle if you marry a stripper.
That's right, his fiance's a stripper, and because of that, I guess NASA doesn't think he'll be mentally sound. You know, because the space program has produced some real examples of mental health in the past few years, haven't they? So Goldblum and his father finally get to the White House.
Goddamn Tea Partiers.
But it's okay, they have a way inside. How? Well, it turns out Goldblum happens to have an ex-wife who works for the White House. Isn't that a happy little coincidence?
I would never believe in my lifetime that I would be the White House. Look at this. If I knew I was going to meet the president, I would have worn a tie. I mean, look at me. I look like a schlemiel.
Schlemiel, Goyim, Bar Mitzvah, did I mention I'm Jewish? So he convinces the president that they have less than a half hour until Boomsville. So they get the president out as one helicopter tries to make contact with the ship.
Welcome wagon has commenced. You may fire when ready.
Meanwhile, the president's wife, who's in another location, is told to evacuate as well.
And our prayers go out to the wives and children of those brave minds. Indeed, God help us all.
Really? The newscaster just said, God help us all? Isn't that the equivalent of saying, a hurricane was spotted on the eastern coast? Panic! 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 We're all gonna die! So the ships finally start to open up as Goldblum sees the clock has ticked its last seconds.
Time's up.
Oh hey, push that button over there, would you? Yeah. So the Earth is on fire as Will Smith's fiance rushes for cover. Yeah, hide there. The explosion will never think to look for you there. Yes! What about Boomer? Dude, lady, you have a kid with you. Fuck the dog and just close the damn door. Luckily, the explosion's too polite to enter through an open door, so I guess they'll be safe after all. So July 3rd hits as we look over the aftermath the aliens have left behind.
You maniac! You blew it up!
That's the advantage of being a fighter pilot. In the Gulf War, we knew what we had to do.
Aw, hey, look on the bright side. Could have been an oil spill. So Vivica and her kid are shocked to find that duck and cover shit really works, as they grab a truck and start looking for survivors. Yeah, but did Boomer make it okay?
Boomer will live.
Meanwhile, Will Smith and the rest of the fighter pilots head up to kick some alien ass.
Bring that bad boy on, Captain. You lose? Yes, sir. Got your victory dance? Well, I got it right here. Yeah.
Oh, wow, you are so dead.
As the good Reverend would say, why we're on this particular mission, we'll never know. But I do know here today that the Black Knights will emerge victorious once again. Amen, man.
Amen, Reverend.
Hey, you know what else I love? Living. I love living. I hope to do a lot of living while I'm still alive. I'm just so lively. Wouldn't it be a great tragic irony if I was to not be living? Wouldn't that be the most dramatic contrast that only a B-movie that somehow got a bajillion-dollar budget would put together? God, I love being alive. Alive!
Rock and roll.
But unfortunately, the ship has some sort of refreshing mint shield as the alien pilots come out to kill the fighters.
I got you covered, Big Daddy. Damn, they got shields too. Let's get low, let's get fast. I got you, Big Daddy. Let's get them. Do a barrel roll.
Oh, and here's a big shocker. Are you ready for this? This is like a big shocker. Holy smokes, you're not gonna believe this. I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, are you ready? Are you ready? Sit down. It's really incredible. Are you ready? The best friend dies! Jimmy!
Oh my god, they killed Jimmy! You bastards!
So one of the alien pilots chases Will Smith through the desert, where they perform some stunts that, quite frankly, would be too silly for the hotshot movies to pull off.
See if you can fly that thing undercover.
A sheet! All my advanced scientific technology and I'm defeated by a sheet! All of your base are belong to us. Oh.
Welcome to Earth. That's what I call a close encounter.
meanwhile, the president and his men try to figure out what they're going to do next.
It was what, in the 50s or whatever, you had that spaceship.
Oh God, you're not.
Roswell, New Mexico, yeah. No, you had the spaceship and you had the bodies.
You're not really going that direction, are you?
Area 51, right? Area 51.
Regardless of what you may have read in the tabloids, there have never been any spacecraft covered by it.
Oh, good. You know what's up, right? He's doing enough.
That's not entirely accurate.
You know, I'll believe it when I see... No, I don't believe it! You're actually saying that Area 51 really was an alien and that you never brought it to anyone's attention while the ships were landing? Stand back! He's gonna go for it! 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 No! He jumped the shark! So we see Brent Spiner, also known as Data from Star Trek, as the head scientist.
Since these guys started showing up, all the little gizmos inside turned on.
Actually, I'm confused. Which of these two characters wasn't human again? Oh well, who cares? We have more implausible meetups to combine. Now let's see, what should we do here? I know, let's say Vivica A. Fox coincidentally runs into the First Lady, and Will Smith coincidentally runs into Randy Quaid, who coincidentally runs into the secret base, which coincidentally has the president. Well, that's all fine and good, but... Did Boomer make it out okay? So they decide to perform an operation on the alien to see what's inside. Hey, here's a crazy idea. Why don't you have some security around? I mean, you know these aliens want to kill you. Say something went wrong. I mean, what if for some crazy reason you didn't give him anesthetic, he wakes up, emits an ear-piercing sound, knocks out all the power, kills the doctors, and uses the body of one of them to communicate with other people? I mean, I'm just saying. So the alien tries to do some mind zapper thing with the president as the security finally takes the alien out. Meanwhile, Will Smith decides that he wants to steal a helicopter to look for his fiancée.
What the hell are you doing? Get out of there!
Look, I got something I gotta handle. I'm just borrowing it.
No, you're not, sir.
Do you really want to shoot me?
Damn that Will Smith charm. Next time, I gotta try that. Just go up to a military helicopter and be like, hey, I need this. There's something I gotta do. I mean, I never thought just to ask. It's practically foolproof. And, wouldn't you know it, in the middle of the night, without any signals, without any clue of her location, he just happens to stumble across her.
You're late.
You know I like to make an entrance.
This moment brought to you by the laws of improbability.
So they reunite the president with his wife, but unfortunately she's bleeding internally and can't be fixed. Sheesh, I felt like we barely knew her. That's because we did barely know her. Maybe if we didn't have 13 other characters in this movie, we would feel bad that this person dies. Oh no, this is giving me an emotion. Must not act. Must not act. Oh good, I made it to the next credit. But the president isn't the only one having problems. A drunken Jeff Goldblum screams in anger and seeks the aid of his father.
Everyone loses faith at some point in their life. Hey, look at myself. But you haven't spoken to God since your mother died. Mother's dead? You still have your health.
But Goldblum suddenly gets an idea to give the alien mothership a virus. Because now this TV repairman can identify signals that the government's top men can't find, but apparently can also hack alien technology while only being aware of it for one day. Is there anything you can't do? No. But still, they need a pilot to fly that alien ship. Who are they gonna get?
I've seen these things in action, and I'm well aware of their maneuvering capabilities. With your permission, General, I'd like the opportunity to try.
Yes. Let that man fly that ship. What's that? His fiancee's a stripper? Bring him back, bring him back. We can't allow that, no. So Smith and his fiancee finally get married right before they head up to infect the mothership. An alien race that wipes out Earth but is killed by our viruses? Who ever heard of such a thing? Jerk off! So as they head off into space, our president gets ready to make the biggest speech for the trip.
The 4th of July will no longer be known as an American holiday, but as the day when the world declared in one voice, we will not go quietly into the night. Today, we celebrate our Independence Day.
Boy, thank God this all went down on Independence Day. I mean, can you imagine what would happen if this took place on a lesser holiday? Today, I'm talking like a pirate day. We celebrate our right to talk like pirates, and we will show them the offensive. We will show them scary dog souls butts. Who's there with me? Say arg! Arg! And just when you think this movie couldn't get any more silly cliches.
Mr. President, I'd sure like to know what you're doing.
I'm a combat pilot, Will. Belong in the air.
That's right. The president of the free world is flying up in the air with the other fighter pilots. Wow! It's up the shark so high it's nearly in orbit! Yeah, sure. Let him fly with the other fighter pilots. I mean, it's just the president. It's not like he'll be needed for anything else. It's not like there's any choice decisions that a democracy chose him to make. Just let him have his fun. Oh well, fuck it. Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum fly into the mothership to invite the fighters. Now this raises another question. An alien ship from the 1950s isn't gonna cause any suspicion from the other aliens? Over 40 years of technological advancements must have happened over that time, and they just blend in like one of the other ships? Does one of the main aliens just think he knows who the alien is in there?
Stephanie? Stephanie, is that you? Oh my god, I haven't seen you or your ship since the 1950s. Tell me, how's your airflow? That is the reason why you said you'd be away for a while, right? Stephanie.
We have visual. Not engage until you confirm.
So the fighter pilots, led by the president trying to seal his next campaign poster, fire their missiles at the ship, who should have their shields down by now.
Hold on, Command. I want another shot at it.
No.
These laser tic-tacs! Basic minority.
Stephanie? Well, why aren't you talking to me? Is it because I slept with your alien sisters? Look, they came on to me, okay? Oh, wait a minute. It's because you want me to see your pretty face, isn't it? Let me just open up the window here so I can see your eyes. One more. Stephanie, were you always invisible?
Legal one, Fox News.
Aw, maybe you should have let a professional pilot fly.
Doesn't anyone have any missiles left? Sorry I'm late, Mr. President! Pilot, you armed? Armed and ready, sir. Who is that guy? Put him on speaker.
Who is that brave, lone American that we all underestimate?
It's me, Russell Case, sir.
But his missile gets jammed as he decides to do the noble thing and sacrifice his life for the world.
I'm back!
Really? So, all this advanced scientific weaponry and the answer was the equivalent of a cartoon character putting his finger in a gun? I guess cartoon logic saves the day.
Get out of the line to every squadron around the world. Tell them how to bring those sons of bitches down.
Tell them to get all the drunk, suicidal redneck pilots they can find.
Stephanie, you can't hide from our love. I really thought we had something there. I felt a connection. Something cosmic, if you will.
Yes, sir.
Hey, all right.
Stephanie? Did you do something to your hair? Pluto's balls!
We're loose. You get us out here in 30 seconds?
So they get themselves loose, they fly through the ship of dried up dog turds, and Goldblum delights in ripping off Jurassic Park.
Must go fast. Must go fast.
Hey, you know what? I'm beginning to think that wasn't Stefan.
So while the other ships are taken down, Goldblum and Smith get home safe, and the president is declared a hero.
Daddy, did you save the day?
Actually, no, totally my father did.
Well, at least Mommy is still alive.
Yeah, we'll have to talk later.
So they all lived happily ever after. But what about Boomer? What a piece of shit. I mean, granted, I did kind of like it as a kid, but as an adult, it's just too corny and too cliche. The characters are unbelievable cutouts, the story has about a bajillion plot holes, and no, I don't need anything else. That's enough to hate this movie. I will say this, though. The explosions are cool, the spaceships are cool, and Will Smith is cool. Is it one of the worst films I've ever reviewed? No, but it's still bad. It's really, really bad. And let's face it, ever since, the director's been trying to make the same movie over and over and over. And seeing how it's already rumored that there's gonna be an Independence Day 2, I have just one question for you. Whose side are you gonna be on? The humans or the aliens? Nanu, Nanu! I'm a nostalgia critic, I remember it, so you don't have to.
Our instincts are razor sharp.
Hello, I'm the nostalgia critic. I remember it, so you don't have to. Remember in 1994 when Stargate came out? For those who don't, the build-up was incredible. All they showed was this magical gate that could teleport people to somewhere else. Where did they go? What did they find when they got there? You had to go see the movie to find out. Wow, I wonder what it could be. God, this is gonna keep me awake all night. I'm gonna see the movie right now just to find out. Holy crap, was that stupid! So what? Aliens inventing a pyramid? Are you nuts? Yeah, all those Egyptian ones with their brilliant groundbreaking design had nothing to do with it. It was the aliens! And the ruler of the known universe was that chick with the dick from the Karate Kid? The last time I ever watched a movie by these jokers again. Say, remember in 1996 when Independence Day came out? It was done by the same idiots who did Stargate, but look, all it showed in the advertising was the White House getting blown up. That's it, nothing else. Whoa, how the hell does that happen? This movie must be good. I mean, sure they messed up with Stargate, but maybe this will be a good one. Besides, I just gotta know how the White House blows up. I'm gonna go check it out right now. Son of a bitch! This movie's even worse than the last one! So what? The President of the United States gets in a jet to fight off aliens? Are you high? Yeah, that's it. I'm done. I am never watching another movie like these ones ever again. Ever. Nope, not interested. No.
I got a fight!
No, I don't care. Even though the filmmakers made two horrible movies before, Godzilla hooked us all in with its clever advertising. How? Because they never showed the monster. You had to see the movie in order to see the monster. So advertisers thought up the brilliant strategy of describing the monster for us, like vehicles that said his foot is as long as this bus, or billboards that said his head is as big as this sign. It was downright genius. Alright guys, so you suckered us in yet again. But please, can you try and give us a good movie this time? I mean, it's Godzilla. It can't be that difficult to make something that's just so unentertaining. Oh, you shit-knockers! You did it! You actually did it! You made Godzilla even less credible than it already was! Somebody give these douchebags an award for sucking! Ass! So if I had to sit through this pile of dino droppings, I figure you ought to share the pain with me. The film starts out with, oddly enough, a monster attacking the Japanese. Haven't seen that before. After After that scene, we get our next horrible disaster. Matthew Broderick. He plays our main character called Nico Sitopoulos.
It's Sitopoulos.
Whatever. He plays as a nerdy white guy who wears glasses and is socially... Hey! That sounds like the nerdy white guy who wears glasses and is socially awkward from Stargate. Or the nerdy white guy who wears glasses and is socially awkward from Independence Day. But don't you worry, this character is far, far different. He is much more annoying than any of those other guys. So the job of Mr. Metropolis,
Sitopoulos,
whatever, is to study earthworms and how they grow over a certain period of time. This leads to him getting the clever nickname of the Worm Guy. Matthew Broderick plays a wormy person? Finally, some ideal casting! So the military comes to take him to a piece of land in Panama, where they want him to analyze something a little bigger than an earthworm.
Here's your sample. Study it. What sample? You're standing in it.
You want me to analyze the footprint of a giant chicken? Though killer poultry is not on his list of studied specimens, good old testosterone,
Sitopoulos,
whatever, agrees to study whatever made that hole in the ground. Meanwhile, in Tahiti, the French guy from The Professional interviews one of the survivors of the monstrous shipwreck. Whoa, a lighter. I've seen giant radioactive blizzards the size of the kingdom, but a lighter? That gets my attention. Okay, apparently fire translates English into Japanese, but I digress.
What did you see?
This seems threatening at first, but take a look at what Godzilla actually translates out to. Next we cut to New York City, where a woman named Audrey wants to try and get a reporting job from an anchor she's working for, played by Harry Shearer.
What else did he say?
Why don't we talk about it over dinner tonight? Your place.
Mr. King, you're married.
Yes, and you're very beautiful. Have I ever told you that before?
Wow, subtle. Do you think he tries that on every woman he meets? Hi, I'm Charles. My hobbies are marriage, cheating, and having sexual intercourse with you. You want to have dinner? And then we cut to another location in Jamaica. Jesus, how many locations are there? It's like they're kicked out of every country that they try to film in. Where it turns out that Bowser is still on the loose. As it turns out, he attacked yet another ship. And much like this movie, it was dragged under. So what could this giant perversion of nature possibly be?
This animal is much too big to be some kind of lost dinosaur. A hybrid caused by the fallout on these islands. I believe that this is a mutated aberration.
Just like my career. I'm acting! Next we cut to Audrey's friends, played by a very annoying Vicki Lewis and an even more annoying Hank Azaria.
He is dirt. He's a douchebag, gutter slime, dog crap, puke chunk.
Hey, lady, you'll shut up.
Come on, from the old New York here, but bing, bull, bang, jets and stuff. She's suddenly distracted when she sees Mr. Tapdancelis,
Sitopoulos,
whatever, on the TV screen. While that's going on, we see the mayor of New York and his aide appeasing the city. Tell me if these two look familiar at all. Oh, they're spoofing Siskel and Ebert. I see. Apparently, Mayor Ebert is an anger-obsessed screamer who spends most of his time eating candy, while his aide Jean is a slimy little yes-man who blindly agrees with everything he says. Take that, Siskel and Ebert! How dare you have an opinion! But I don't get it. Why are they making fun of these two in the first place? They're like America's most loved critics. Oh, maybe it's because they never gave thumbs up to any of your movies. Well, maybe if you got your thumbs on your assets and start producing good films, we'd agree with you. But dude, they don't even take advantage of this. Even Gene Siskel, the critic they were satirizing, asked the question, if you're going to go to the trouble of putting us in a monster movie, why don't you at least take advantage of having the monster either eat or squash us? Hey, that's a good point. Here's your shot to really get back at these critics who hated all your films, in a monster movie no less, and you don't even have the monster kill them or rip them to shreds? That's really bad when you're getting criticized by the critic you're criticizing because you didn't criticize them enough. Try saying that 3 times fast. But the director's not the only one preying on the innocent. Godzilla finally arrives, showing his face in New York and running a prehistoric muck. Look out! It's Cloverfield! That's 8 years early! So he romps and stomps and even goes past a news station where voice actress Nancy Cartwright sees him walk by.
I think your story just walked by the window.
Okay, wait a minute. Nancy Cartwright, Harry Shearer, Hank Azaria. Is this just a Simpsons reunion? What's next? The cast of Scooby-Doo is gonna show up?
Like Zoink Scoob, look out! It's Godzilla!
Holy shit!
Like you said it, Scoob.
So he roars and screams and tears up good chunks of the city, and then out of nowhere, he suddenly disappears.
After its initial attack, he disappeared.
He suddenly disappears? How can you lose track of a 20-story high dinosaur?
It's perfect. An island, water on all sides, but like no other island in the world, this is a place where he can easily hide.
A city of 8 million people is a good place to hide? This isn't like the Bourne Identity where he can just blend into his surroundings. My guess is that giant prehistoric lizard is probably gonna stand out. So they look over the damage that the amazing disappearing Godzilla left behind.
In what city officials are describing as the worst action since the World Trade Center bombing.
Yeah, World Trade Center bombing. I'm sure that's the only huge disaster that New York will ever. Alright, okay. We see that Godzilla has left a long line of destruction, even paved his way through the Met-like building. But wait, really look at this. How is it possible that that thing is still standing? New York architecture isn't just one of those big paper things that you rip through at the beginning of a football game. It's a little more complicated. So while the city is being evacuated, our heroes try to think of a way to lure the monster out so they can get a good shot at it. They then come up with a brilliant idea. Fish! Of course! Giant piles of fish. Because as we all know, lizards do not eat fish! They eat bugs! What are you, crazy? You'd be better off putting a giant ant farm in the middle of the city, you retards! So our brilliant and obviously un-lizard-prone hero looks over this amazing scene.
That's a lot of fish.
What?
A lot of fish.
That's a lot of fish. That's a lot of... I don't get it. That's a lot of fish. So? I mean, is that meant to be funny? We'll have to pause it, yes, for the audience to laugh. I mean, but what's the joke? I could have just as easily said, that's a hat. That's a wall. That's a lot of fish. I mean, how is that funny? You could have said a lot of things there, like, I got a fishy feeling about this. Or, it's like shooting fish in a barrel out here. I mean, it wouldn't have been funny, but at least they would have been actual jokes. That's a lot of fish. You can spend years trying to figure out why the hell that's supposed to be funny and not get anywhere. So that's a lot of fish. Look, you could literally just point in gibberish. And that at least would have been a little bit funnier. He looks over this amazing sight, turns to the other guy and says, poppity pop pop pop. And that actually will have gotten a little bit of a laugh. Just nonsense off the top of my head is funnier than these guys trying to willingly produce written humor. So, after Mr. Tin Manopoulos,
Satopoulos,
whatever, makes his brilliant remark, guess who comes to dinner? Wow, I guess Bugs Bunny is lost again.
I knew I should have taken that left turn at Albuquerque.
No, it's the poorly computer-generated Godzilla in all his unconvincing pixelization. Did you get my good side? Please say it's Broderick. No, not today. Apparently someone also forgot to tell Godzilla that lizards don't eat fish because he takes the bait literally hook, line, and sinker. But the military attack, which means, of course, more stomping and running around the city. Kill him, John Adams. Do our country proud. Woe to the Union.
I was so pitifully embarrassed.
Look, he's even breathing fire, just like a real lizard would do. Look at this scene. It's practically ripping off every single flying scene ever done in motion picture history.
Echo 4R.
Use the Force, Luke.
Locked on, sir.
Unit 1 to Unit 7, give me a situation report.
He's colder than the buildings around him. The heat seekers can't lock.
Stay on target.
Than the buildings around.
But in it turns out the military really sucks at their job, because they actually turn out to destroy more of the city than the monster does. Seriously, I don't get how they can't shoot this thing. I mean, is he really that hard to miss? I especially love this scene where the monster actually manages to fake them out. Dude, this isn't a game of tag. Just use any of your basic 5 senses to find him. After he starts dry humping a building, Godzilla manages to, I'm not kidding, disappear again. What is wrong with these idiots? Are they just looking at their shoelaces when he's around? I mean, wake up!
That's not true. You fed him.
Several good soldiers just lost their lives. Dick. So after that, we see Audrey! As she comes across Mr. Takanova and Humpashire, Ricky Dicky, Hamster Master, Polly Wally, Wanna Bing Bang, Supercalifragilistic, Knick Knack, Patty Wacky, Give the Dog a Banana, Banana, Full Fresca, Hickory Dickory, Hockety Pockety, Wackety Wack, Angelina, Francesca III.
Satopolis.
Whatever. As they decide to catch up on old times.
You're still mad at me?
Well, you left without a phone call, a letter, nothing. All this time, yeah, I guess I am still a little mad.
That was 8 years ago. Something changed.
Most people don't.
I'm sorry, but you are aware that there was just a giant radioactive monster roaming through the city, right?
8 years is a long time. Can I make you a cup of tea?
Sure. That'd be nice.
By the way, did you see all that fish? There was a lot of it. She stares over as apparently her ex-boyfriend keeps a lot of pictures of her lying around. Most women would find this creepy, but the script's out-of-touch reality suggests that she finds it charming. So charming that she steals a videotape of top-secret information from him so she can post it all over the news. Wow, what a whore. Meanwhile, as helicopters continue to search for plot, Broderick comes across a stunning realization. Godzilla is pregnant? But how can that be? Males can't lay eggs.
Not if he reproduces asexually.
Wow, how dramatically convenient.
The blood that I collected revealed that the creature is either about to lay eggs or already has.
Gentlemen, we could have sequels. Horrible, horrible sequels.
These eggs are going to hatch very quickly.
How could you possibly know that?
The fish that we found on the subway. He's not collecting all his food just for himself.
And I don't think I need to remind you, gentlemen, that was, in fact, a lot of fish. But the Army doesn't listen to Roger, please, as they discover that he accidentally leaked information to the news and is booted off the assignment. Audrey tries to apologize for being a bitch.
It's a terrible thing to do. I never should have done that.
Good luck with your new career. Really think you have what it takes?
I thought we had something. I thought we had fish. But Jean Renault pops up, as it turns out that he's part of a secret French organization, as they set out to stop Godzilla because they care about the Americans. Can you believe us to expect such a thing? I mean, not the giant radioactive lizard, the French trying to help Americans. Ridiculous. Because the fish plan worked so well the first time, the military plans to do it again. Only this time they're luring the monster out into Central Park. Because as we all know, no one can survive Central Park in the middle of the night. Godzilla comes out for the 11th rainy day in a row and again falls for the bait.
Alright, I'm just going for the fish. We cool? We cool?
Oh, you cocktease! With some more explosions and obnoxious kabooms, Godzilla runs through the city yet again.
I'm starting to think you don't like me very much.
Oh good, he jumped into the concentrated dead in that. But the Green October is standing by to zap his wreck alien back into his home.
I just wanted to be on Broadway.
You'd think that'd be the end, but no. Our heroes drive into the demolished subway to find the nest of eggs that Broderick was talking about. But wait, how are the French gonna pass by as Americans?
Who you boys with?
We're with the 3-2, sir.
I didn't ask you, soldier. You got a problem talking?
Well, no, sir, I'm fine.
All right. Keep it moving.
Well, thank you very much.
Elvis Presley movies. What's the king?
Could be worse. He could have done a Jerry Lewis impression.
I just wanted to ride on the underground choo-choo with the wheels and the sparks and the lady!
So they come across a destroyed Madison Square Garden where they make their discovery. Quiet, I think I hear fish. Faster than you can say green eggs and ham, our heroes come across a nest of Cadbury eggs from hell. But the eggs start to hatch, and rather than just shoot the damn things, the French do what they're best known for: give up and scram. And this is the part of the movie I like to call, guess what part of Jurassic Park they're stealing from? It seems that behind every door there seems to be a blockade of monsters. Broderick should know he checks all of them. Once again, the mythical gumballs of doom seem to give the monsters the slip as they get out of the building just before the military blows it to smithereens. So this should be the end of the movie, right? No, because Godzilla actually resurrects himself back to life.
Truly, he is the son of Godzilla.
So this leads to yet another chase scene where our heroes race across the city in a taxi. Turn the meter off! Turn the meter off! You know, they outwit this thing just a few too many times. He breathes fire at them, they just turn around. He corners them in a tunnel, they just turn on their headlights. They get trapped inside his mouth. Hey, got a quarter?
I know this is probably a bad time to mention this, but do you guys remember all that fish? Wasn't that something?
So he gets tangled up in the world of the military throw everything they got.
Let's hear it, but the target is still moving, sir. Well, circle around the car and get it! Just close it up! It's all we know how to do!
Gee, what the hell else can he throw at the damn thing?
Use the anvil! Use the ocean liner! That's it! We're in a sink, boys!
After the creature finally goes down, we get that lame scene where I guess you're supposed to actually feel sorry for it. And more emotions for my toilet brush. Guess we'll never find out. Hooray! So Audrey and Titties get together, Jean gives Ebert a vulgar thumbs down, and even our French friend manages to say au revoir.
Thank you for your help, my friend.